Welcome, peaceful explorers of science, to tonight's gentle journey into one of life's most universal experiences. Whether you're settling into bed in a quiet bedroom, curled up on a couch as evening settles around you, or perhaps listening from somewhere far across the world where dawn is breaking, you're invited to drift along with us as we explore the quiet, inevitable march of time itself. Tonight, we embark on a soft exploration of aging, that mysterious process that touches every living thing on our planet. It's a journey we all experience, though it unfolds in ways we can't always see or fully understand. The science behind why we age, why our bodies change and grow and eventually wear down, is filled with wonder and complexity that might just be fascinating enough to keep you awake, though I promise to tell it in the most soothing way possible. Time is something we all feel, yet cannot touch. It passes imperceptible and constant, shaping our bodies and our lives in ways both subtle and profound. Aging isn't just the passage of years marked on calendars or the accumulation of birthdays. It's the quiet way our cells and tissues respond to the rhythm of time, the gentle transformation that occurs at the deepest levels of our being, often without us even noticing. As we settle into this exploration together, let yourself relax completely. There's no test at the end, no need to remember every detail. Instead, think of this as a peaceful meditation on the science of life itself. We'll wander through the microscopic world of cells and molecules, drift past the intricate mechanisms that keep us alive, float gently through the fascinating research that's helping us understand this most human of experiences. You might find yourself growing drowsy as we talk about telomeres and free radicals, and that's perfectly wonderful. The goal isn't to stay awake through every word, but to let the gentle rhythm of scientific discovery carry you toward rest. Some of the most beautiful learning happens when our minds are relaxed and open, and we're not trying too hard to grasp every concept, but simply allowing the wonder of it all to wash over us. So whether you're someone who has always been curious about the biological processes that govern our lives, or you're simply looking for a peaceful way to end your day, you're in exactly the right place. Let's begin this soft journey together, exploring the elegant science behind one of life's most profound mysteries, the gentle process of growing older. As we drift deeper into our exploration, let's pause for a moment to consider something truly remarkable. Time itself, that invisible force that governs every moment of our existence, is perhaps the most mysterious aspect of our universe. We measure it with clocks and calendars, we schedule our lives around it. Yet when we really stop to think about what time actually is, it becomes almost impossibly elusive. Time flows differently for each of us, doesn't it? A wonderful afternoon with loved ones seems to vanish in moments, while a sleepless night can stretch on forever. Einstein showed us that time isn't even constant throughout the universe, that it bends and stretches depending on gravity and speed. But for us, here on Earth, time moves with its steady rhythm, and our bodies keep perfect time with its passage. Think about your own relationship with time. Perhaps you're someone who feels they have all the time in the world. Or maybe you're acutely aware of how quickly the years seem to pass. Either way, your body has been keeping meticulous track of every second. Every heartbeat, every breath, since the moment you were born. It's been counting in ways you'll never consciously notice. Marking time at the cellular level with precision that would make the finest Swiss watchmaker weep with envy. The fascinating thing about aging is that it's not just about the passage of years. It's about how our bodies experience and respond to time itself. Every cell in your body carries within it a kind of biological clock, ticking away the moments of your life. These aren't metaphorical clocks, but actual molecular mechanisms that help your body keep track of when to wake up, when to sleep, when to repair damage, and when to grow. Your body experiences time on multiple levels simultaneously. There's the circadian rhythm that governs your sleep and wake cycles, responding to the 24-hour rotation of our planet. There's the ultradian rhythm that controls shorter cycles throughout the day, like your attention span and energy levels. There are even rhythms that span weeks, months, and seasons, helping your body adapt to the changing environment around you. But perhaps the most profound way your body experiences time is through the process of aging itself. Every moment that passes, every breath you take, every heartbeat leaves a tiny mark on your cells. It's not damage in the way we might think of it, but rather a kind of gentle where that accumulates over time. Like the soft patina that develops on a beloved piece of jewelry worn every day. This is why aging feels so different from other changes in our lives. It's not something that happens to us suddenly, but rather something that unfolds gradually, almost imperceptibly, like the slow changing of seasons. One day you notice that your skin feels different, or that climbing stairs takes a little more effort, or that you need reading glasses to see fine print. These aren't sudden breakdowns, but the natural result of time's gentle influence on your body. The beauty of this process is that it's happening to every living thing on Earth. The oak tree in your yard is aging, counting time in its rings. Your beloved pet is aging, their body keeping its own biological time. Even the bacteria in your gut are aging, living their microscopic lives in accelerated time compared to yours. We're all part of this grand universal experience of moving through time together. Scientists have spent decades trying to understand exactly how our bodies keep track of time, and what they've discovered is both beautiful and complex. Your cells don't just passively experience time passing, they actively participate in measuring it. They have internal clocks that help them coordinate with each other, ensuring that your body functions as a unified whole, even as it's made up of trillions of individual cells. Imagine for a moment that you could shrink down to the size of a molecule and travel through your bloodstream. You'd witness an incredible symphony of biological activity, all perfectly timed and coordinated. Your heart cells contracting in unison, your liver cells processing nutrients on schedule, your brain cells firing in complex patterns that create your thoughts and memories. Every single process happening with clockwork precision, all keeping time with the grand rhythm of your life. This internal timekeeping isn't just remarkable from a scientific perspective, it's also deeply philosophical. Your body exists in a state of constant becoming, never quite the same from one moment to the next. The person you were yesterday is subtly different from the person you are today, and tomorrow, you'll be different again. It's a continuous process of gentle transformation, like a river that appears constant but is actually made of ever-changing water. The ancient Greeks had a beautiful concept called chronos and kairos. Chronos is the kind of time we measure with clocks, the steady tick-tock of seconds and minutes. Kairos is the felt experience of time, the moments that feel pregnant with meaning or possibility. Your body experiences both kinds of time simultaneously. It keeps perfect chronos time with its cellular clocks, while also creating the conditions for kairos time, those moments of joy, love, wonder, and peace that make life meaningful. As we age, our relationship with both kinds of time evolves, become more aware of chronos time, perhaps feeling its passage more acutely as we accumulate years. But we also often become more skilled at recognizing and savoring kairos time, those precious moments that feel timeless and full of presence. It's one of the gifts that aging can bring, this deeper appreciation for the preciousness of each moment. Your body's relationship with time is also influenced by your environment and lifestyle. The modern world often asks us to live in a way that's disconnected from natural rhythms. We stay up late staring at screens, we eat at irregular times, we rush through our days without pausing to breathe. But your body remembers the ancient rhythms of day and night, of seasons and tides, of rest and activity. When we align our lives more closely with these natural rhythms, we often find that we age more gracefully. The science of chronobiology, the study of biological rhythms, has revealed that nearly every cell in your body has its own internal clock. These clocks are remarkably sophisticated, capable of keeping time even when isolated from the rest of your body. They're synchronized by a master clock in your brain. It's located in a tiny region called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It receives information about light and darkness from your eyes and helps coordinate all your body's various rhythms. As we age, these biological clocks can become less precise, like old watches that gradually lose their accuracy. This is part of why older adults often experience changes in their sleep patterns, or why they might feel more tired at different times of day. But understanding this process can help us work with our bodies rather than against them, adjusting our habits and expectations to honor our changing rhythms. The relationship between time and aging is also deeply connected to our sense of identity and meaning. As we move through life, we accumulate experiences, relationships, knowledge, and wisdom. Time becomes not just something that passes, but something that enriches us. The lines on our faces become maps of our laughter. The strength in our hands becomes a record of the work we've done and the love we've given. This is perhaps why the study of aging is so compelling. It's not just about understanding biological processes, but about understanding what it means to be human, to exist in time, to grow and change and eventually pass away. It's about finding beauty in impermanence, grace in change, and meaning in the finite nature of our existence. As we continue our gentle journey tonight, we'll explore the specific mechanisms by which time leaves its mark on our bodies. We'll discover how cells age, how organs change, how our minds adapt to the passage of years. But throughout it all, remember that you are not just a collection of aging cells and tissues. You are a conscious being moving through time, aware of your own existence, capable of wonder and love and growth. You are time made manifest, a unique expression of the universe's creativity, aging gracefully through each passing moment. The wonder of temporal existence becomes even more profound when we consider how different species experience time and aging. A mayfly lives its entire adult life in a single day. While some trees have been standing for thousands of years, their rings marking centuries of seasons. Humans fall somewhere in between, with our roughly 80-year lifespan giving us enough time to accumulate wisdom while still feeling the urgency of mortality. This middle ground between the ephemeral and the eternal gives our lives a unique poignancy and meaning. Your body's relationship with time is also deeply influenced by memory and anticipation. Unlike other animals that live primarily in the present moment, we humans have the remarkable ability to remember our past and imagine our future. This creates a complex relationship with aging, as we can observe our own changes over time and contemplate what lies ahead. Sometimes this awareness can create anxiety about getting older, but it can also deepen our appreciation for the present moment and motivate us to live more fully. The cellular clocks we've been discussing don't just keep time, they also help your body anticipate and prepare for what's coming next. Your metabolism changes throughout the day in anticipation of meals. Your body temperature drops in preparation for sleep. Your immune system strengthens and weakens on schedule to optimize both protection and energy conservation. These anticipatory changes show us that aging isn't just about responding to time, but about your body's sophisticated ability to predict and prepare for the future. Consider how your body prepares for sleep each night. Before you feel tired, your cells begin the process of winding down. Your core temperature starts to drop. Your digestion slows, stress hormones decrease, and sleepiness hormones increase. This isn't just a reaction to the day ending, but a proactive preparation for the restorative processes that happen during sleep. Your body is constantly looking ahead, preparing for what it knows is coming, based on its internal sense of time. This forward-looking aspect of biological timekeeping becomes even more fascinating. When we think about seasonal changes, even if you live in a climate without dramatic seasonal variation, your body still responds to the subtle changes in daylight throughout the year. In autumn, you might find yourself craving heartier foods and feeling more inclined to rest. In spring, you might feel more energetic and optimistic. These aren't just psychological responses, but actual biological changes driven by your body's ancient wisdom about how to thrive in a world of cycles and seasons. The relationship between time and aging also varies dramatically based on our life circumstances and choices. Stress, for instance, can accelerate cellular aging, while practices like meditation and regular exercise can slow it down. Love and social connection seem to have protective effects against aging. While loneliness and isolation can speed up the process, it suggests that aging isn't just a passive process that happens to us, but something we can influence through how we choose to live. Sleep itself plays a crucial role in how we age. During sleep, your body performs essential maintenance and repair work. Waste products are cleared from your brain, damaged cells are repaired or replaced, memories are consolidated, and your immune system is strengthened. People who consistently get good quality sleep tend to age more slowly and maintain better health throughout their lives. It's as if sleep gives your body the time it needs to keep all its clocks synchronized and all its systems running smoothly. The modern world often pulls us away from these natural rhythms, asking us to be constantly productive, always available, perpetually stimulated. But your body remembers the ancient patterns of rest and activity, of light and dark, of seasonal change and daily renewal. When we honor these rhythms, we often find that we feel better, sleep more deeply, and age more gracefully. It's not about returning to some idealized past, but about finding ways to integrate the wisdom of our biology with the realities of contemporary life. As you listen to these words, perhaps settling deeper into relaxation, notice how your own body is responding to the rhythm of the day. If it's evening where you are, you might feel that gentle pull toward rest that comes as darkness falls. If it's morning, you might sense the quiet energy of beginning another day. Whatever time it is, your body knows, and it's adjusting its countless processes accordingly, keeping perfect time with the turning of the earth and the larger rhythms of the cosmos. This is the profound beauty of aging as a temporal process. We are not separate from time, but woven into its very fabric. Every cell in your body participates in the grand symphony of existence, playing its part in the larger composition of life on Earth. As we age, we become more deeply integrated into this cosmic dance. Our individual rhythms harmonizing with the universal patterns that govern all of existence. The study of aging, then, becomes a study of time itself, and of our place within the magnificent temporal tapestry of the universe. It's a reminder that we are not merely observers of cosmic processes, but active participants in them. Our lives unfold in time, our bodies keep time, and our aging is itself a form of temporal artistry. A unique expression of what it means to be a conscious being moving through the vast, mysterious landscape of existence. Now let's drift deeper into the microscopic world that exists within you, a realm so small and yet so fundamental to everything you are. We could shrink ourselves down to explore the cellular landscape of your body, to discover a bustling metropolis of activity that never sleeps, never rests, never stops its essential work of keeping you alive and healthy. At the heart of aging are the cells that make up your body, roughly 37 trillion of them, working together in perfect harmony. These cells begin as fresh, vibrant units when you're young, each one like a newly constructed building in a pristine city. But over time, through the gentle wear and tear of living, they lose their ability to repair themselves with the same efficiency. Like pages of a beloved book slowly becoming worn and softened as we turn them again and again throughout the years. Imagine each of your cells as a tiny factory, complete with its own power plant, waste disposal system, quality control department, and manufacturing floor. When you're young, these cellular factories run with remarkable efficiency. They produce exactly what they need when they need it, with very little waste or error. The machinery is new, the systems are optimized, and everything works together seamlessly. But as time passes, something subtle but profound begins to happen within these microscopic factories. It's not a sudden breakdown or catastrophic failure, but rather a gradual accumulation of small imperfections, like the way a well-loved kitchen slowly shows signs of use. A scratch here, a worn spot there, a door that doesn't close quite as tightly as it once did. Each individual change is barely noticeable, but together they create the gentle transformation we call aging. The process begins with the most fundamental activity of cellular life, the creation of new cells through division. When you were developing in your mother's womb, your cells divided with breathtaking speed and precision, doubling their numbers every few hours. This rapid division continued throughout your childhood and adolescence, allowing you to grow from a single cell into the complex, beautiful person you are today. Even now as an adult, many of your cells continue to divide regularly. The cells lining your digestive tract replace themselves every few days. Your skin cells renew themselves every few weeks. Your blood cells are constantly being refreshed. It's a remarkable process that allows your body to maintain itself, placing worn-out parts with fresh new ones, like a ship that slowly replaces its planks while continuing to sail across the ocean. But here's where the story of cellular aging begins to unfold. Each time a cell divides, it must carefully copy all of its genetic material, packaging it into the new cells that will carry on its work. This copying process is incredibly accurate, with sophisticated proofreading mechanisms that catch and correct most errors. However, it's not perfect, and over time small mistakes begin to accumulate in the cellular instruction manual. Think of it like making photocopies of photocopies. The first few generations look nearly identical to the original, but eventually, tiny imperfections begin to appear and compound. A speck of dust on the glass, a slight misalignment, a shadow where there shouldn't be one. Each copy introduces new minor flaws while preserving the ones that came before, until eventually the image becomes noticeably different from the pristine original. In your cells, these accumulated changes affect the cellular machinery in subtle ways. Proteins might not fold quite correctly, enzymes might work a little less efficiently, and the cell's ability to respond to signals from its neighbors might become slightly impaired. None of these changes is dramatic on its own, but together they create the gradual decline in cellular function that underlies the aging process. One of the most significant aspects of cellular aging involves the mitochondria, those remarkable structures often called the powerhouses of the cell. These tiny organelles are essentially bacteria that took up residence in our cells billions of years ago. Forming one of the most successful partnerships in the history of life on Earth, they convert the food you eat into the energy your cells need to function, working tirelessly to fuel every process in your body. When you're young, your mitochondria are like high-performance engines, efficiently converting fuel into energy with minimal waste. But as you age, these cellular power plants begin to show signs of wear, become less efficient at producing energy, and they start to generate more waste products as byproducts of their activity. It's like an old car that starts to burn oil and doesn't get quite the same gas mileage it once did. This decline in mitochondrial function has profound effects throughout your body. With less efficient energy production, your cells have less power to carry out their various functions. Muscle cells might not contract as forcefully, nerve cells might not transmit signals as quickly, and immune cells might not respond as vigorously to threats. It's not that these cells stop working, but rather that they operate with somewhat less energy and enthusiasm than they once did. The fascinating thing about mitochondria is that they have their own genetic material, separate from the DNA in your cell's nucleus. This mitochondrial DNA is much more vulnerable to damage than nuclear DNA, partly because mitochondria don't have the same sophisticated repair mechanisms, and partly because they're constantly exposed to the reactive chemicals produced during energy generation. Over time, this DNA damage accumulates, further reducing the efficiency of these crucial cellular organelles. Another key player in cellular aging is the protein recycling system within your cells. Think of this as your cellular waste management and recycling program. When proteins become damaged or worn out, specialized cellular machinery identifies them, breaks them down into their component parts, and recycles those parts into new functional proteins. This system works beautifully when you're young, keeping your cells clean and well-maintained. As you age, however, this protein recycling system becomes less efficient. Damaged proteins begin to accumulate within your cells, sometimes clumping together into aggregates that can interfere with normal cellular function. It's like a city where the garbage collection becomes less reliable and trash begins to pile up in the streets. The city can still function, but it's not as clean and efficient as it once was. Some of these protein aggregates are associated with age-related diseases. The plaques found in Alzheimer's disease, for example, are partly composed of misfolded proteins that have accumulated in brain cells. The tangles found in Parkinson's disease involve similar protein aggregation problems. While not everyone who ages develops these conditions, the underlying process of protein aggregation is a normal part of cellular aging that affects us all to some degree. Your cells also face ongoing challenges from oxidative stress, a process we'll explore more deeply in a later chapter. For now, imagine that normal cellular metabolism creates reactive molecules as byproducts.
It's similar to how a fireplace creates sparks along with warmth and light.
When you're young, your cells have excellent systems for managing these reactive molecules, neutralizing them before they can cause damage. But as you age, the balance between the production of these molecules and your cell's ability to manage them begins to shift. The cumulative effect of all these cellular changes is a gradual decline in what scientists call cellular fitness. It's not that your cells stop working, but rather that they become less resilient, less efficient, and less able to adapt to stress. A young cell might easily recover from a minor injury or adapt to changing conditions, while an older cell might struggle more with the same challenges. This is why aging often becomes more noticeable when your body faces stress or challenges. A young person might bounce back quickly from an illness, a late night, or a period of poor nutrition, while an older person might take longer to recover. It's not because older people are weak, but because their cells have accumulated enough small changes that their reserve capacity has diminished. But here's the beautiful thing about understanding cellular aging. It's not a story of inevitable decline and decay. Your cells retain remarkable abilities to adapt, repair, and even rejuvenate themselves throughout your entire life. Recent research has shown that many aspects of cellular aging can be influenced by lifestyle choices, environmental factors, and even social connections. Regular exercise, for instance, can stimulate the creation of new mitochondria and improve the efficiency of existing ones. A healthy diet provides your cells with the nutrients they need for optimal function and repair. Adequate sleep gives your cellular recycling systems time to do their essential maintenance work. Social connections and purposeful activities can even influence gene expression in ways that support healthy cellular aging. As you rest tonight, perhaps drifting towards sleep, as we explore these microscopic marvels, remember that your cells are working tirelessly on your behalf. Even as some aspects of their function may be changing with time, they continue to demonstrate the remarkable resilience and adaptability that has allowed life to flourish on Earth for billions of years. You are the temporary home for these amazing cellular communities, and they are doing everything they can to keep you healthy and vibrant for as long as possible. As we venture deeper into the microscopic architecture of aging, let's explore one of the most profound and beautiful aspects of cellular timekeeping. Nestled within the nucleus of each of your cells lies your DNA, that elegant double helix that contains the complete instruction manual for building and maintaining you. This genetic blueprint is perhaps the most remarkable library ever created, containing all the information needed to construct a human being from a single cell. Each of us carries a unique blueprint, our DNA, written in the language of 4 simple chemical letters. These letters, arranged in precise sequences across billions of positions, spell out everything from the color of your eyes to the rhythm of your heartbeat. But as time moves on, this precious blueprint starts to show signs of wear. Like an ancient manuscript that has been handled and copied countless times throughout the centuries, the story of DNA and aging is intimately connected to one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern biology, the existence of telomeres. Picture the plastic tips on the ends of shoelaces, those small protective caps that prevent the laces from fraying and unraveling. At the ends of your chromosomes, where your DNA is packaged, there are similar protective structures called telomeres. These molecular caps serve a crucial function, protecting your precious genetic information from damage during the cellular copying process. When your cells divide to create new cells, they must carefully duplicate their entire DNA library. This is an incredibly complex process, involving sophisticated molecular machinery that reads each letter of your genetic code and creates an exact copy. However, due to the mechanics of how this copying works, the very ends of your chromosomes present a unique challenge. The cellular copying machinery simply cannot reach all the way to the tips, leaving these vulnerable ends susceptible to degradation. This is where telomeres come to the rescue. These protective caps, made of repetitive DNA sequences that don't contain essential genetic information, act as a buffer zone. When the copying machinery fails to reach the very end of the chromosome, it's the telomere that gets shortened, not the vital genes that lie beneath. It's an elegant solution to a fundamental problem of cellular reproduction, protecting what matters most by sacrificing something expendable. But here's where the connection to aging becomes profound. Each time your cells divide, the telomeres get a little shorter. They're like tiny hourglasses, marking the passage of cellular time with each division. When you're young, your telomeres are long and robust, providing ample protection for your chromosomes. But as the years pass and your cells divide thousands of times, these protective caps gradually shrink, marking the quiet passage of time in each cell. Imagine telomeres as the margins in a beloved book that you read and reread throughout your life. Each time you turn the pages, a tiny bit of the margin gets worn away. For a long time, this doesn't affect your ability to read the text, because there's plenty of margin to spare. But eventually, as the margins get smaller and smaller, the text itself begins to be at risk. This is similar to what happens as telomeres shorten throughout your lifetime. The discovery of telomeres and their role in aging was so significant that it earned several scientists the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 2009. Their research revealed that when telomeres become critically short, cells stop dividing and enter a state called senescence. These senescent cells don't die immediately, but they stop contributing to tissue renewal and repair. Instead, they often begin secreting inflammatory substances that can affect neighboring cells, creating a cascade of changes that contribute to the aging process. What makes this story even more fascinating is the existence of an enzyme called telomeres, a molecular fountain of youth that can actually add length back to telomeres. This remarkable enzyme is active in certain types of cells, including stem cells and reproductive cells, allowing them to maintain their telomeres and continue dividing indefinitely. It's as if some cells have access to a magical eraser that can restore the margins in our metaphorical book, keeping the text protected and readable. However, most of the cells in your adult body have very little telomeres activity. This appears to be a carefully evolved balance, because while telomeres can prevent cellular aging, it can also contribute to cancer development. Cancer cells often reactivate telomeres, allowing them to divide uncontrollably. So the gradual shortening of telomeres in most of your cells serves as a built-in tumor suppression mechanism, a trade-off between longevity and cancer protection. The rate at which telomeres shorten varies dramatically between individuals and is influenced by many factors beyond simple chronological age. Chronic stress, for instance, can accelerate telomere shortening, while practices like meditation and regular exercise appear to slow the process. Nutrition also plays a role, with certain nutrients and antioxidants helping to protect telomeres from damage. Sleep quality, social connections, and even your sense of purpose in life have all been linked to telomere length in scientific studies. This connection between lifestyle and telomere health reveals something beautiful about the aging process. While we can't stop time from passing, we do have some influence over how our cells experience and respond to that passage of time. A person who takes care of their physical and mental health might have telomeres that are longer than someone of the same chronological age, who has lived a more stressful or unhealthy lifestyle. But telomeres are just one part of the DNA aging story. Your genetic material faces other challenges as the years pass, including damage from environmental factors like radiation and chemicals, as well as mistakes that occur during the normal processes of cellular metabolism. Your cells have sophisticated repair systems that work constantly to fix this damage, like a dedicated maintenance crew that works around the clock to keep a historic building in good condition. These DNA repair systems are remarkably efficient when you're young, catching and correcting most damage before it can cause problems. However, as you age, these repair mechanisms become less efficient, and small amounts of damage begin to accumulate in your genetic material. It's not that the repair crews stop working, but rather that they become slightly less thorough, allowing minor issues to persist that might have been fixed in younger cells. Some regions of your DNA are more vulnerable to age-related changes than others. The genes that control essential cellular functions tend to be well protected and maintained throughout life, while other regions may accumulate changes more readily. This selective preservation of crucial genetic information is another example of the elegant ways your body prioritizes what's most important for survival and function. The relationship between DNA damage and aging is complex and varies significantly. Between different types of cells and tissues, cells that divide frequently, like those in your skin and digestive tract, face more opportunities for copying errors, but also have more active repair systems. Cells that rarely divide, like neurons in your brain, face different challenges, as they must maintain their DNA integrity for decades without the refreshing effect of cellular division. Recent research has also revealed that aging involves changes in how your genes are expressed, even when the underlying DNA sequence remains unchanged. This field, called epigenetics, studies how chemical modifications to DNA and associated proteins can turn genes on or off throughout your lifetime. These epigenetic changes are like bookmarks and annotations in your genetic library, helping to determine which parts of your genetic information are read and used by your cells at any given time. As you age, patterns of epigenetic modification change throughout your body, affecting how your cells function and respond to their environment. Some of these changes may be adaptive, helping your cells cope with the challenges of aging, while others may contribute to age-related decline. Understanding these epigenetic changes is opening new avenues for research into healthy aging and potential interventions to promote longevity. The telomere story also connects to one of the most profound questions in biology. Why do we age at all? From an evolutionary perspective, aging presents something of a puzzle. Natural selection typically favors traits that enhance survival and reproduction. So why would evolution allow the development of a process that ultimately limits lifespan? The answer may lie in the trade-offs we've discussed, where mechanisms like telomere shortening provide protection against cancer in youth, while contributing to aging in later life. As you settle deeper into relaxation tonight, perhaps marveling at the intricate molecular machinery working within your own cells, remember that your DNA carries not just the instructions for building you, but also the accumulated wisdom of billions of years of evolution. The telomeres capping your chromosomes are ancient structures, refined over countless generations to provide the optimal balance between cellular renewal and protection from cancer. Your genetic material is both remarkably stable and constantly changing, preserving the essential information that makes you who you are, while allowing for the subtle modifications that mark the passage of time. In this dance between preservation and change, between stability and adaptation, we find one of the most beautiful aspects of the aging process. A delicate balance that has allowed life to flourish on Earth for eons and continues to sustain your existence with each passing day. As we continue our gentle descent into the molecular world of aging, let's explore one of the most fascinating and sometimes misunderstood aspects of cellular life. Deep within your cells, a constant chemical drama unfolds, involving molecules so reactive and energetic that they've been called the wild cards of cellular chemistry. These are the free radicals, and their story is central to understanding how aging occurs at the most fundamental level. Picture your cells as bustling cities filled with countless chemical reactions happening every moment. Most of these reactions are orderly and controlled, like well-planned construction projects that follow blueprints and safety protocols. But occasionally, these reactions produce something unexpected. Molecules that are missing an electron and are desperately seeking to complete themselves. These are free radicals, and they're like tiny storms that can cause damage as they search for the electron they need to become stable. Our bodies are constantly under the influence of free radicals, these unstable molecules that can damage our cells, much like tiny hurricanes eroding a landscape over time. The analogy isn't quite accurate, though, because unlike destructive storms, free radicals are actually a normal and even necessary part of cellular life. They're produced constantly by your mitochondria as they burn fuel to create energy, by your immune system as it fights off infections, and by countless other cellular processes that keep you alive and healthy. The challenge isn't that free radicals exist, it's that over time, the balance between their production and your body's ability to neutralize them can shift in ways that contribute to aging. When you're young, your cells have robust systems for managing these reactive molecules, like a well-organized emergency response team that can quickly contain and neutralize any damage. But as the years pass, this delicate balance begins to change, and the cumulative effects of oxidative stress start to accumulate. To understand this process, imagine oxygen as a friend who is wonderful to have around, but can sometimes be a bit too enthusiastic. Oxygen is essential for life, powering the cellular engines that keep you alive. But oxygen is also a highly reactive element, eager to participate in chemical reactions wherever it goes. Most of the time, this reactivity is carefully channeled into useful processes, like the controlled burning of glucose to produce energy. But sometimes, oxygen forms compounds that are so reactive they can damage almost anything they encounter. These oxygen-derived free radicals are like sparks flying from a campfire. Most of the time, the sparks land harmlessly or are quickly extinguished. But occasionally, one might land on something flammable and cause damage. In your cells, free radicals can damage proteins, lipids, and even DNA if they're not quickly neutralized by your cellular defense systems. Your body has evolved an elegant array of antioxidant systems to manage these molecular sparks. Some are enzymes that specifically neutralize certain types of free radicals, working like specialized fire extinguishers designed for particular types of fires. Others are molecules that can donate electrons to free radicals, satisfying their electron hunger and converting them into harmless compounds. These antioxidants work together in a coordinated defense network, protecting your cells from oxidative damage. When you're young, this antioxidant defense system works with remarkable efficiency. It's like having a state-of-the-art fire department that can respond instantly to any emergency, equipped with the latest technology and staffed by experienced professionals. The antioxidant enzymes are produced in abundance. The cellular repair systems work quickly to fix any damage that does occur, and the overall system maintains a healthy balance between oxidative stress and antioxidant protection. But as you age, several changes occur that can tip this balance toward increased oxidative stress. First, your cells may produce more free radicals as their mitochondria become less efficient, like an old engine that starts to produce more exhaust and sparks. Second, your antioxidant defense systems may become less robust, like a fire department that has fewer resources and older equipment. Third, your cellular repair systems may become less efficient at fixing oxidative damage, allowing small amounts of damage to accumulate over time. This accumulation of oxidative damage is thought to contribute to many of the changes we associate with aging. Proteins that become oxidatively damaged may not function as efficiently, contributing to the gradual decline in cellular performance. Lipids in cell membranes can become oxidized, affecting the cell's ability to control what passes in and out. DNA damage from free radicals may contribute to the genetic changes that accumulate with age. The concept of oxidative stress in aging was first proposed in the 1950s by a scientist named Denham Harmon, who suggested that free radicals might be a primary cause of aging. This free radical theory of aging has evolved considerably over the decades, and while it's no longer considered the sole explanation for aging, oxidative stress is recognized as an important contributing factor to the aging process. What makes oxidative stress particularly interesting is how it connects aging to environmental and lifestyle factors. Everything from air pollution to cigarette smoke can increase your exposure to free radicals. Intense physical exercise temporarily increases free radical production, though regular moderate exercise actually strengthens your antioxidant defenses over time. Even psychological stress can affect oxidative balance, with chronic stress potentially increasing free radical production while depleting antioxidant resources. The foods you eat play a crucial role in supporting your antioxidant defenses. Fruits and vegetables are rich in compounds like vitamin C, vitamin E, and countless phytonutrients that can help neutralize free radicals. The deep colors of berries, the vibrant orange of carrots, the rich green of leafy vegetables. These pigments often indicate the presence of powerful antioxidant compounds. It's as if nature has painted these foods with their protective properties, making it easy to identify which foods can help support your cellular defenses. But the story of antioxidants and aging is more nuanced than simply taking antioxidant supplements or eating as many antioxidant-rich foods as possible. Your body's antioxidant systems have evolved to work in careful balance, and sometimes interfering with this balance can have unexpected consequences. Some studies have found that very high doses of antioxidant supplements can actually be harmful, possibly by interfering with normal cellular signaling processes that depend on small amounts of free radicals. This reveals one of the beautiful complexities of cellular aging. Free radicals aren't simply villains to be eliminated, but important signaling molecules that help your cells communicate and adapt to changing conditions. A certain amount of oxidative stress may actually be beneficial, stimulating your cells to strengthen their defenses and maintain their resilience. It's the chronic, excessive oxidative stress that becomes problematic, tipping the balance away from health and toward accelerated aging. Your cells also have sophisticated ways of recycling and repairing oxidatively damaged molecules. Damaged proteins can be broken down and their components reused. Oxidized lipids can be replaced with fresh ones. And DNA repair systems can fix most types of oxidative damage to your genetic material. These repair and recycling systems work constantly, like a dedicated maintenance crew that keeps your cellular city clean and functional. The mitochondria, those cellular powerhouses we've discussed before, are both major producers of free radicals and important targets of oxidative damage. As mitochondria age, they may become less efficient at containing the free radicals they produce, leading to increased oxidative stress within the cell. This creates a cycle where oxidative damage to mitochondria leads to more free radical production, which causes more damage, and so on. However, your mitochondria also have their own antioxidant systems, and can even communicate with the cell nucleus to request additional antioxidant support when needed. Recent research has shown that mitochondria can also undergo a process called mitophagy, where damaged mitochondria are recycled and replaced with new ones. This quality control system helps maintain a healthy population of mitochondria throughout your life. Though it may become less efficient with age, the connection between oxidative stress and aging also extends to the immune system. Chronic inflammation, which becomes more common with age, can increase free radical production. At the same time, oxidative damage can impair immune function, creating another cycle where aging immune systems produce more inflammation and oxidative stress. Understanding these interconnected processes is helping scientists develop new approaches to promoting healthy aging. As you rest tonight, perhaps feeling the gentle pull of sleep as we explore these microscopic processes, remember that your cells are constantly working to maintain the delicate balance between energy production and protection from oxidative damage. The free radicals being produced in your mitochondria right now aren't enemies, but byproducts of the essential processes that keep you alive. Your antioxidant systems are working quietly and efficiently to manage these reactive molecules, protecting your cellular structures while allowing the beneficial aspects of oxidative signaling to continue. This ongoing molecular dance between oxidation and protection, between damage and repair, between breakdown and renewal, is one of the fundamental rhythms of life itself. It's been going on in living cells for billions of years, refined through evolution to support life while allowing for the gradual changes that mark the passage of time. In understanding this process, we gain not just knowledge about aging, but appreciation for the remarkable resilience and adaptability of the cellular systems that sustain our existence. As we emerge from the microscopic depths of cellular chemistry and drift toward the visible manifestations of aging, let's turn our attention to your skin, a remarkable organ that serves as the boundary between your inner world and the environment around you. Your skin is truly the first storyteller of time. It's the place where the invisible processes of aging first become visible to the world and to yourself. Our skin is the first to reveal the story of time, and what a beautiful story it tells. As we age, the collagen that keeps our skin smooth and firm begins to break down. Like the way a once crisp sheet of parchment gradually softens and develops character lines from years of careful handling. Fine lines appear at the corners of our eyes. Gentle creases form where we've smiled countless times. And the once elastic skin takes on a softer, more relaxed quality that speaks of a life fully lived. Think of your skin as a magnificent tapestry that has been woven over the course of your entire lifetime. When you were young, this tapestry was tightly woven, with strong strings of flexible fibers that could stretch and bounce back effortlessly. The colors were vibrant, the texture was smooth, and the overall structure was remarkably resilient. But as the years have passed, this living tapestry has been exposed to countless influences that have gradually changed its character and appearance. Your skin is actually your body's largest organ, covering approximately 20 square feet and weighing about 8 pounds in an average adult. It's composed of multiple layers, each with its own specialized functions and its own relationship with the aging process. The outermost layer, the epidermis, is constantly renewing itself, shedding old cells and replacing them with fresh ones in a cycle that takes about 28 days when you're young. Beneath this lies the dermis, a thicker layer rich in collagen, elastin, and other structural proteins that give your skin its strength, elasticity, and youthful appearance. Collagen is perhaps the most important player in the story of skin aging. This remarkable protein forms the structural framework of your skin, creating a network of fibers that provide support and strength. When you're young, your skin produces collagen abundantly and efficiently, maintaining a dense, well-organized matrix that keeps your skin smooth, firm, and resilient. Collagen fibers are like the steel beams in a skyscraper, providing the structural integrity that allows the building to stand tall and weather storms. But as you age, several changes occur in your skin's collagen production and maintenance. First, your skin begins to produce less new collagen, with production declining by about 1% per year after age 20. It's a gradual decrease, barely noticeable at first. Like a garden where flowers still bloom beautifully, but perhaps not quite as abundantly as they once did. Second, the collagen that you do produce may not be organized as efficiently as it was when you were younger, creating a looser, less structured network of fibers. Third, and perhaps most significantly, the existing collagen in your skin begins to break down faster than it can be replaced. Enzymes called collagenases, which normally help maintain healthy skin by removing damaged collagen, become more active with age and may begin breaking down healthy collagen as well. It's like having an overzealous cleaning crew that starts throwing away things that should be kept, gradually reducing the structural integrity of the building they're supposed to maintain. Elastin, another crucial protein in your skin, undergoes similar age-related changes. This protein is responsible for your skin's ability to stretch and then return to its original shape. It's like a rubber band that can be pulled and then snaps back perfectly. When you're young, elastin fibers are abundant and highly functional, allowing your skin to move and flex with every expression and gesture while maintaining its smooth appearance. As you age, elastin fibers become fragmented and lose their elasticity. They're like rubber bands that have been stretched too many times and have lost their ability to snap back completely. This loss of elastin contributes to the development of wrinkles and the general loosening of skin that occurs with age. The skin that once bounced back immediately after being pinched or stretched may now take longer to return to its original position, or may not return completely. The process of skin aging is also significantly influenced by exposure to ultraviolet radiation from the sun. This process, called photoaging, can dramatically accelerate the breakdown of collagen and elastin, while also causing changes in skin pigmentation and texture. UV radiation generates free radicals in the skin, contributing to the oxidative stress we discussed in our previous chapter. It's as if the sun, while providing warmth and light essential for life, also acts like a gentle but persistent artist, slowly etching lines and patterns onto the canvas of your skin. Photoaging tends to be most noticeable in areas that receive the most sun exposure, such as the face, neck, hands, and forearms. These areas may show more pronounced wrinkles, age spots, and changes in skin texture compared to areas that are typically covered by clothing. This difference beautifully illustrates how environmental factors interact with the intrinsic aging process to create the unique patterns of aging that each person experiences. The deeper layers of your skin also undergo significant changes with age. The hypodermis, or subcutaneous layer, contains fat cells that provide insulation, cushioning, and contribute to your skin's smooth, plump appearance. As you age, this fat layer may become thinner and redistribute, contributing to the appearance of sagging skin and the prominence of underlying bone structure. It's like the padding in a favorite chair that gradually compresses over years of use, making the frame more noticeable. Blood circulation to the skin also changes with age, potentially affecting the delivery of nutrients and oxygen to skin cells. The network of tiny blood vessels that nourish your skin may become less efficient, contributing to changes in skin color, healing ability, and overall vitality. Reduced circulation can give skin a paler or more sallow appearance, while also making it more difficult for the skin to repair damage and maintain optimal function. The oil glands in your skin, which produce the natural oils that keep your skin moisturized and protected, also become less active with age. This is why older skin often feels drier and may appear more fragile than younger skin. The natural protective barrier function of the skin may become compromised, making it more vulnerable to environmental damage and less efficient at retaining moisture. However, it's important to remember that skin aging is not simply a story of decline and deterioration. Your skin continues to perform its essential functions throughout your life, protecting you from the environment, regulating your body temperature, and serving as an important sensory organ. The changes that occur with aging often reflect the skin's remarkable ability to adapt to a lifetime of service and environmental exposure. Many of the visible signs of skin aging can actually be seen as medals of honor, evidence of a life fully lived and experienced. Laugh lines around the eyes speak of countless moments of joy and humor. The gentle creases on the forehead may reflect years of thoughtful concentration and problem solving. The weathered appearance of hands tells the story of all the work they've done, all the lives they've touched, all the creations they've brought into being. Recent research has also revealed that many aspects of skin aging can be influenced by lifestyle choices and environmental factors. A diet rich in antioxidants, vitamins, and healthy fats can support skin health and may slow some aspects of the aging process. Regular exercise improves circulation, which can benefit skin appearance and function. Adequate sleep gives your skin time to repair and renew itself. While stress management can help prevent the acceleration of aging that comes with chronic psychological stress, proper skincare, including gentle cleansing, moisturizing, and sun protection, can also make a significant difference in how your skin ages. Using sunscreen regularly can dramatically slow photoaging, while moisturizers can help maintain the skin's barrier function and prevent excessive dryness. It's never too late to start taking better care of your skin, as it retains remarkable capacity for improvement and repair throughout your life. The field of dermatology has also developed numerous treatments that can address various aspects of skin aging, from topical retinoids that can stimulate collagen production to various procedures that can improve skin texture and appearance. While these interventions can be helpful for some people, it's worth remembering that healthy aging of the skin is a natural and normal process that doesn't necessarily require correction or intervention. As you settle into the peaceful rhythm of approaching sleep, perhaps running your fingers gently over your own skin, take a moment to appreciate this remarkable organ that has protected and served you so faithfully throughout your life. Every line, every texture change, every subtle shift in appearance is part of your unique story, a visible record of your journey through time and experience. Your skin continues to work tirelessly even as you rest, shedding old cells and creating new ones, maintaining its protective functions, and adapting to the changing needs of your body. In its quiet, persistent activity, we can see reflected the broader themes of aging. The continuous process of renewal and change, the accumulation of experience and wisdom, and the ongoing dance between preservation and transformation that characterizes all of life. As we venture deeper into the landscape of aging, moving from the visible changes in our skin to the more hidden transformations occurring within our bodies, let's explore how time gently sculpts the very organs and tissues that keep us alive. Inside our bodies, our organs also undergo their own quiet transformation, a process so gradual and subtle that we may not notice it happening until we pause to reflect on how our bodies have changed over the years. The heart, that tireless muscle that beats with rhythm and vitality in youth, exemplifies the gentle way aging affects our internal organs. Your heart began beating before you were even born, establishing a rhythm that has continued without pause for your entire life. By the time you reach 70 years of age, this remarkable organ will have beaten approximately 2.5 billion times, pumping roughly 50 million gallons of blood through your circulatory system. When you were young, your heart was like a finely tuned sports car engine, capable of rapid acceleration and sustained high performance with remarkable efficiency. The heart muscle fibers were strong and flexible. The electrical conduction system that coordinates each heartbeat was precise and reliable. And the heart's ability to adapt to changing demands was extraordinary. During exercise or moments of excitement, your young heart could quickly increase its rate and strength of contraction, delivering exactly the amount of blood and oxygen your body needed. As the years pass, your heart undergoes a process of gradual remodeling that reflects both the natural aging process and the accumulated effects of a lifetime of faithful service. The heart muscle itself may become slightly thicker, not because it's growing stronger, but because the individual muscle fibers are adapting to decades of continuous work. Similar to how a blacksmith's arms become thick and strong from years of swinging a hammer, except that the heart's changes are more about endurance than raw power. The electrical system that coordinates your heartbeat may also show subtle changes with age. The specialized cells that generate and conduct electrical impulses throughout the heart may become less numerous or less efficient over time. This can sometimes lead to minor irregularities in heart rhythm or a tendency for the heart rate to be slightly slower at rest. Most of these changes are completely normal and don't significantly affect the heart's ability to function, but they represent the gentle way that time influences even our most vital organs. The blood vessels that supply your heart with oxygen and nutrients also change with age. These coronary arteries may become less flexible and may accumulate deposits over time, particularly if influenced by factors like diet, exercise habits, and genetic predisposition. The walls of these arteries may thicken slightly, and their ability to expand and contract in response to changing blood flow demands may diminish. It's like garden hoses that have been used for many years and have become less flexible, though they can still carry water effectively when properly maintained. Your lungs, those delicate organs that have been quietly exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide with each breath you've taken, also experience the gentle touch of time. The lung tissue itself, composed of millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli, may lose some of its elasticity over the years. When you were young, these air sacs were like perfectly elastic balloons that could expand and contract effortlessly with each breath. As you age, they may become slightly less elastic, like balloons that have been inflated and deflated many times and have lost some of their springiness. The chest wall and the muscles involved in breathing also change subtly with age. The rib cage may become slightly less flexible, and the respiratory muscles may not be quite as strong as they once were. These changes typically don't affect normal breathing activities, but they may become noticeable during periods of intense physical exertion. It's as if the breathing apparatus shifts from being a high-performance athletic system to being a reliable, steady system that's perfectly adequate for normal daily activities. The changes in lung function with aging are often so gradual that they're barely perceptible in daily life. Most healthy older adults can breathe comfortably during normal activities and may only notice differences. When engaging in very strenuous exercise or when climbing multiple flights of stairs, the lungs retain remarkable reserve capacity throughout life, meaning that even with some age-related changes, there's still plenty of functional capacity for normal living. Your muscles, those hundreds of individual engines that power every movement you make, undergo some of the most noticeable changes with aging. Muscle tissue that was once firm and responsive may gradually become softer and less powerful over time. This process, called sarcopenia, typically begins in your 30s, but progresses very slowly. It's usually only becoming noticeable in your 60s or 70s. The individual muscle fibers themselves may become smaller and less numerous with age, while the connections between nerves and muscles may become less efficient. It's like having an orchestra where some of the musicians have retired and the remaining players may not respond quite as quickly to the conductor's direction. The music can still be beautiful and functional, but it may lack some of the precision and power of the orchestra in its prime. However, what's remarkable about muscle aging is how responsive it is to use and activity. Muscles that are regularly challenged through physical activity can maintain much of their strength and size throughout life. The saying, "use it or lose it," is particularly applicable to muscle tissue, which retains an extraordinary capacity for adaptation and improvement even in advanced age. Regular exercise can actually reverse many aspects of muscle aging, helping older adults maintain strength, balance, and functional capacity. Your bones, the structural framework that supports your entire body, also undergo continuous remodeling throughout your life. When you were young, your bones were constantly breaking down old tissue and building new tissue in a carefully balanced process that maintained bone strength while allowing for growth and repair. This process continues throughout your life, but the balance between breakdown and rebuilding may shift slightly with age. Peak bone density is typically reached in your 20s or 30s, after which there may be a very gradual loss of bone mineral density over time. This process is usually so slow that it doesn't affect daily activities or quality of life for most people. Your bones remain remarkably strong and functional throughout your life, continuing to support your weight, protect your organs, and serve as anchor points for your muscles. The joints where your bones meet also experience changes with aging. The smooth cartilage that cushions these joints may show signs of wear over time, like the brake pads on a car that gradually become thinner with use. The synovial fluid that lubricates your joints may become slightly less abundant or less viscous. These changes can sometimes lead to mild stiffness or discomfort, particularly in the morning or after periods of inactivity. Your digestive system, that complex network of organs responsible for processing the food you eat, also adapts to the passage of time. The stomach may produce slightly less acid, the intestines may move food through the system a bit more slowly, and the liver may process certain substances somewhat less efficiently. Most of these changes are so subtle that they don't significantly affect nutrition or digestion, but they represent the gentle way that aging influences even our most basic physiological processes. The kidneys, those sophisticated filtering systems that clean your blood and maintain fluid balance, may show some decline in function with age. The number of functional filtering units, called nephrons, may decrease slightly over time, and blood flow to the kidneys may diminish somewhat. However, the kidneys have enormous reserve capacity, and these age-related changes typically don't cause problems with normal kidney function in healthy individuals. Your endocrine system, the network of glands that produce hormones to regulate countless body functions, also experiences changes with aging. Hormone levels may fluctuate or decline gradually over time, affecting everything from sleep patterns to metabolism to mood regulation. These hormonal changes are often the most noticeable aspects of aging for many people, influencing energy levels, body composition, and overall sense of well-being. What's particularly beautiful about organ aging is how interconnected and adaptive these systems are. As one system experiences age-related changes, other systems often compensate to maintain overall function and health. The body's remarkable ability to adapt and maintain homeostasis continues throughout life, demonstrating the incredible resilience and flexibility of human physiology. Many of the changes that occur in organs and tissues with aging can be influenced by lifestyle choices made throughout life. Regular physical activity, proper nutrition, adequate sleep, stress management, and avoidance of harmful substances like tobacco can all help organs age more gracefully and maintain better function over time. It's never too late to start making healthier choices that can benefit your organs and tissues. The field of medicine has also developed increasingly sophisticated ways to support organ function as people age. From medications that can help the heart work more efficiently to procedures that can improve joint function, modern medicine offers many tools to help people maintain quality of life as they age. However, the most powerful interventions often remain the simple lifestyle choices that support natural, healthy aging. As you rest tonight, perhaps becoming aware of your own heartbeat or the gentle rhythm of your breathing, take a moment to appreciate the incredible dedication of your organs and tissues. They have been working tirelessly on your behalf for your entire life, adapting and adjusting to meet your needs through every stage of your existence. Even as they experience the gentle changes that come with aging, they continue to demonstrate the remarkable resilience and adaptability that characterizes all living systems. Your organs don't age in isolation, but as part of an integrated whole, supporting each other and compensating for each other's changes. In this mutual support and adaptation, we see reflected one of the most beautiful aspects of aging: the way that experience and time can lead to greater wisdom, resilience, and appreciation for the interconnectedness of all aspects of life. As we drift into perhaps the most mysterious and fascinating territory of aging, let's explore the changes that occur in that 3-pound universe nestled within your skull, your brain. As we age, our minds, like our bodies, shift and transform in ways both subtle and profound. Memory may not be as sharp as it once was, and learning new things may require more effort and patience. It's a gentle fading, like the setting sun at the end of a long day, as our brains slowly adjust to the passage of time while retaining their essential capacity for wonder, wisdom, and growth. Your brain is perhaps the most remarkable structure in the known universe. It's containing approximately 86 billion neurons connected by trillions of synapses in networks of staggering complexity. This biological supercomputer has been running continuously since before you were born, processing information, storing memories, generating thoughts, and orchestrating every aspect of your conscious experience. The fact that this intricate organ can function reliably for decades while gradually adapting to the aging process is nothing short of miraculous. When we think about brain aging, it's important to distinguish between normal, healthy changes that occur with time and the pathological changes associated with diseases like Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia. The vast majority of people experience some degree of normal cognitive aging while maintaining their essential mental abilities, their core personality, and their capacity for continued learning and growth throughout their lives. The brain you possessed in your 20s was like a high-speed computer with virtually unlimited processing power and lightning. Fast connections between different regions. Information flowed effortlessly through neural networks. New memories formed quickly and vividly, and your ability to focus attention and ignore distractions was remarkably sharp. This youthful brain was optimized for rapid learning, quick decision-making, and adapting to new situations with impressive flexibility. As the decades pass, your brain undergoes a process of gentle remodeling that reflects both the natural effects of aging and the accumulated wisdom of a lifetime of experience. Some neurons may be lost over time, though far fewer than was once believed, and the connections between neurons may become less numerous or less efficient. It's similar to a well-established city, where some buildings are torn down and some roads are rerouted, but the essential infrastructure remains intact and functional. One of the most noticeable changes in brain aging involves processing speed, the rate at which your brain can perform mental operations. Tasks that once required little conscious effort may now take slightly longer to complete, like doing mental arithmetic or remembering someone's name when you encounter them unexpectedly. This slowing of processing speed is completely normal and doesn't reflect any fundamental decline in intelligence or capability. Think of it like the difference between a sports car and a luxury sedan. The sports car can accelerate quickly and navigate tight turns with precision, while the luxury sedan moves more deliberately, but offers a smoother, more comfortable ride with better fuel efficiency. Both vehicles can successfully get you where you want to go. They just do it in different ways and at different speeds. Working memory, your brain's ability to temporarily hold and manipulate information, may also show some changes with age. This is the mental workspace where you juggle multiple pieces of information simultaneously, like remembering a phone number while looking for a pen to write it down, or following the plot of a complex movie while keeping track of the various characters and their relationships. While working memory capacity may become somewhat more limited with age, most people develop effective strategies to compensate for these changes. You might find yourself writing things down more often, using calendars and reminders more systematically, or breaking complex tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. These adaptations aren't signs of decline, but rather examples of the brain's remarkable ability to find new ways to accomplish its goals. Long-term memory, interestingly, often remains quite robust throughout the aging process, particularly for events and information that were deeply meaningful or frequently rehearsed. Many older adults can recall details from their childhood or young adulthood with remarkable clarity, while having more difficulty remembering what they had for lunch yesterday. This selectivity of memory preservation seems to reflect the brain's natural tendency to maintain what's most important while allowing less significant information to fade. The brain's capacity for forming new memories, while it may require more effort and repetition than in youth, continues throughout life. Older adults can absolutely learn new skills, acquire new knowledge, and form new memories. Though the process may unfold more gradually and may benefit from different learning strategies than those that worked best in youth, one of the most encouraging discoveries in neuroscience is the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself and form new neural connections throughout life. For many years, scientists believed that adult brains were essentially fixed and unchangeable. But we now know that your brain retains remarkable capacity for adaptation and growth, even in advanced age. This neuroplasticity manifests in several ways. Your brain can develop new connections between existing neurons. It can modify the strength of existing connections, and it can even generate new neurons in certain regions, a process called neurogenesis. This means that your aging brain isn't simply a deteriorating version of your younger brain, but rather a continuously adapting system that can reorganize itself to maintain function and even develop new capabilities. Many older adults actually perform better than younger people on tasks that require accumulated knowledge, wisdom, and the ability to see the big picture rather than focusing on details. This suggests that brain aging isn't simply about loss, but also about the development of different kinds of cognitive strengths that emerge from a lifetime of learning and experience. The aging brain also shows remarkable ability to compensate for changes in one area by recruiting additional regions to help with specific tasks. Brain imaging studies have shown that older adults often use both hemispheres of their brain for tasks that younger adults perform using only one hemisphere. This bilateral activation appears to be the brain's way of maintaining performance by drawing on additional resources when needed. Sleep plays a crucial role in brain aging and cognitive health. During sleep, your brain performs essential maintenance activities, including the clearance of waste products that accumulate during waking hours. The brain has its own waste disposal system, called the glymphatic system, which becomes particularly active during deep sleep. This system helps remove potentially harmful proteins and metabolic byproducts that could interfere with normal brain function if allowed to accumulate. Changes in sleep patterns are common with aging, and these changes can affect cognitive function. Many older adults experience lighter sleep, more frequent awakenings, and changes in the timing of their sleep-wake cycle, supporting healthy sleep through good sleep. Hygiene practices becomes increasingly important for maintaining cognitive health as we age. Physical exercise has profound effects on brain aging and cognitive function. Regular aerobic exercise increases blood flow to the brain, stimulates the production of growth factors that support neuron health, and can even increase the size of certain brain regions. Exercise also promotes neurogenesis, particularly in the hippocampus, a brain region crucial for memory formation. Social engagement and mental stimulation also play important roles in healthy brain aging. Activities that challenge your cognitive abilities expose you to new experiences. and involve meaningful social interaction can help maintain neural networks and may even build cognitive reserve, your brain's ability to maintain function despite age-related changes. The concept of cognitive reserve is particularly fascinating. It suggests that people who have engaged in mentally stimulating activities throughout their lives, pursued education, maintained strong social connections, and challenged themselves intellectually may be better able to maintain cognitive function as they age. It's as if these experiences create additional neural pathways and connections that can be called upon when needed. Diet and nutrition also influence brain aging. The brain consumes approximately 20% of your body's energy, making it particularly sensitive to nutritional factors. Diets rich in antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, and other brain-healthy nutrients may help protect against cognitive decline, while diets high in processed foods and sugar may accelerate brain aging. Chronic stress can have particularly negative effects on the aging brain, potentially accelerating cognitive decline and affecting memory formation. The stress hormone cortisol, when elevated chronically, can be harmful to brain cells, particularly in regions involved in memory and learning. Stress management techniques like meditation, mindfulness, and relaxation practices can help protect brain health as we age. It's also worth noting that many aspects of cognitive function remain stable or even improve with age. Vocabulary and general knowledge typically continue to expand throughout life. Wisdom, defined as the ability to use knowledge and experience to make good judgments, often increases with age. Emotional regulation and the ability to maintain positive mood despite challenges frequently improve in older adults. The aging brain also shows changes in emotional processing that are often positive. Many older adults report greater emotional stability, increased ability to focus on positive rather than negative information, and better skills in managing interpersonal conflicts. These changes suggest that brain aging involves not just decline, but also the development of emotional wisdom and resilience. As you settle into the peaceful transition towards sleep, perhaps reflecting on your own cognitive journey and the countless thoughts, memories, and experiences your brain has processed throughout your life, remember that your mind continues to be an extraordinary instrument of consciousness and awareness. The changes that occur with brain aging are part of a natural process that has allowed countless generations of humans to accumulate wisdom, share knowledge, and contribute to the ongoing story of human civilization. Your brain tonight is still that remarkable universe of neural activity, processing these words, connecting them to your own experiences and knowledge, and perhaps preparing to weave them into the tapestry of dreams that will unfold as you sleep. In its quiet, persistent activity, your aging brain demonstrates the same fundamental capacity for wonder, creativity, and growth that has characterized human consciousness throughout history. As we continue our gentle exploration of aging, let's turn our attention to one of the most empowering aspects of this journey: the remarkable ways in which our daily choices and environment shape how we age. The way we live our lives can either speed up or slow down the aging process. And understanding these influences opens up beautiful possibilities for aging with grace, vitality, and wisdom. Eating nourishing foods, exercising gently, and managing stress are all ways to care for our bodies and protect them from the wear and tear of time. Unlike the genetic factors we inherit or the simple passage of chronological time, lifestyle and environmental influences represent areas where we have genuine agency in our aging process. These factors don't determine our destiny, but they can significantly influence the trajectory of how our bodies and minds change over the years. It's like tending a garden, where the seeds and soil may be given, but how we water, fertilize, and care for the plants makes an enormous difference in how they grow and flourish. The foods we choose to nourish our bodies with play a fundamental role in how we age at the cellular level. When you eat a meal rich in colorful fruits and vegetables, you're providing your cells with an array of antioxidants, vitamins, and phytonutrients that support the repair and maintenance processes we've discussed throughout our journey tonight. These nutrients work like a skilled maintenance crew, helping to neutralize free radicals, support DNA repair, maintain healthy protein function, and keep cellular machinery running smoothly. Consider the deep purple of blueberries, rich in anthocyanins that can cross the blood-brain barrier and support cognitive function. Think about the vibrant orange of sweet potatoes, packed with beta-carotene that your body converts to vitamin A for healthy skin and immune function. Picture the rich green of leafy vegetables like spinach and kale loaded with folate, vitamin K, and countless other compounds that support healthy aging from the inside out. The Mediterranean style of eating, characterized by abundant fruits and vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, olive oil, and moderate amounts of fish, has been extensively studied for its effects on aging and longevity. People who follow this eating pattern tend to have lower rates of heart disease, cognitive decline, and many other age-related conditions. It's not any single nutrient that creates these benefits, but rather the synergistic effects of a dietary pattern that has nourished human communities for thousands of years. Omega-3 fatty acids, particularly those found in fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, deserve special mention for their role in healthy aging. These essential fats are crucial components of cell membranes throughout your body, but they're particularly important for brain health and the reduction of inflammation. As we age, maintaining adequate omega-3 intake can help preserve cognitive function, support heart health, and reduce the chronic inflammation that contributes to many age-related diseases. Physical activity might be the closest thing we have to a fountain of youth, though its benefits unfold gradually and gently rather than dramatically. Regular movement affects virtually every aspect of the aging process, from cellular function to organ health to cognitive performance. When you engage in physical activity, you're essentially sending a signal to your body that it needs to maintain and strengthen its systems, rather than allowing them to decline through disuse. Exercise stimulates the production of new mitochondria in your cells, those cellular powerhouses we discussed earlier that become less efficient with age. It also promotes the growth of new blood vessels, improving circulation and oxygen delivery throughout your body. In your muscles, regular activity maintains strength and prevents the gradual loss of muscle mass that can occur with aging. In your bones, weight-bearing exercise helps maintain bone density by stimulating the cells that build new bone tissue. The effects of exercise on brain health are particularly remarkable. Physical activity increases the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that supports the growth and survival of neurons. It also stimulates neurogenesis, the formation of new brain cells, particularly in areas involved in memory and learning. Many studies have shown that people who remain physically active throughout their lives maintain better cognitive function and have lower rates of dementia compared to sedentary individuals. You don't need to become an elite athlete to gain these benefits. Gentle, consistent activities like walking, swimming, gardening, dancing, or yoga can all contribute to healthy aging. The key is finding forms of movement that you enjoy and can sustain over time. Your body is designed for movement, and maintaining this natural function helps preserve the intricate systems that keep you healthy and vital. Sleep, that mysterious state we enter each night, plays a crucial role in how we age. During sleep, your body performs essential maintenance and repair work that can't be done as efficiently during waking hours. Your brain clears away metabolic waste products. Your immune system strengthens its defenses. Your muscles and tissues repair damage from the day's activities, and your mind consolidates memories and processes emotional experiences. As we age, sleep patterns often change, sometimes becoming lighter or more fragmented. However, the need for quality sleep doesn't diminish with age. Prioritizing good sleep hygiene, creating a restful environment, maintaining consistent sleep schedules, and addressing any sleep disorders becomes increasingly important for healthy aging. People who consistently get good quality sleep tend to age more slowly, maintain better cognitive function, and have stronger immune systems. Stress management represents another crucial aspect of lifestyle that profoundly influences aging. Chronic stress can accelerate many aspects of the aging process, from telomere shortening to increased inflammation to impaired immune function. When your body is constantly in a state of stress response, it diverts resources away from maintenance and repair activities toward immediate survival functions. However, not all stress is harmful. Acute manageable stress can actually be beneficial, stimulating adaptive responses that strengthen your resilience. The key is developing healthy ways to process and manage stress so that it doesn't become chronic and overwhelming. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, yoga, spending time in nature, engaging in hobbies, maintaining social connections, and finding meaning and purpose in life can all help buffer the negative effects of stress on aging. Social connections and relationships have profound effects on how we age, influencing everything from immune function to cognitive health to longevity itself. People with strong social networks tend to live longer, maintain better physical and mental health, and show more resilience in the face of life's challenges. Loneliness and social isolation, conversely, can accelerate aging and increase the risk of numerous health problems. The mechanisms behind these effects are complex and multifaceted. Social connections provide emotional support that helps buffer stress, practical support that helps people maintain healthy behaviors, and cognitive stimulation that keeps the mind active and engaged. Meaningful relationships also provide a sense of purpose and belonging that contributes to overall well-being and life satisfaction. Environmental factors also play significant roles in how we age. Air quality, water quality, exposure to toxins, and even the design of our living spaces can influence the aging process. Living in environments with clean air and water, minimal exposure to harmful chemicals, and access to green spaces can support healthy aging. Even simple changes like improving indoor air quality, reducing exposure to unnecessary chemicals, and spending time in nature can have beneficial effects. The concept of hormesis, where small amounts of stress or challenge actually strengthen biological systems, applies to many aspects of lifestyle and aging. Moderate exercise stresses your muscles and cardiovascular system, stimulating adaptations that make them stronger. Periodic fasting or caloric restriction may stress cellular systems in ways that promote longevity. Even exposure to moderate temperature variations like cold water swimming or sauna use, which may have beneficial effects on aging through hormetic mechanisms. Intellectual engagement and lifelong learning also influence cognitive aging. People who continue to challenge themselves mentally, learn new skills, engage with complex ideas, and expose themselves to novel experiences tend to maintain better cognitive function as they age. This mental stimulation appears to build cognitive reserve and may even promote the formation of new neural connections. The timing and quality of medical care throughout life also affects aging trajectories. Regular preventive care, early detection and treatment of health problems, and management of chronic conditions can significantly influence how well someone ages. Access to quality health care, preventive screenings, vaccinations, and appropriate medical interventions when needed all contribute to healthy aging. Cultural and socioeconomic factors create important contexts for aging. Access to healthy foods, safe environments for physical activity, quality healthcare, and supportive communities vary significantly based on where and how people live. These social determinants of health create different aging experiences for different populations, highlighting the importance of addressing systemic inequalities that affect aging outcomes. The emerging field of precision medicine holds promise for personalizing aging interventions based on individual genetic, environmental, and lifestyle factors. As we learn more about how different people respond to various aging interventions, we may be able to develop more targeted and effective approaches to promoting healthy aging. What's particularly encouraging about lifestyle influences on aging is that it's never too late to start making positive changes. Your body retains remarkable capacity for adaptation and improvement throughout life. People who begin exercising in their 60s or 70s can still gain significant benefits. Dietary improvements can have positive effects regardless of when they're implemented. Stress reduction techniques can be learned and practiced at any age. As you settle into the peaceful rhythm of approaching sleep, perhaps reflecting on your own lifestyle choices and how they might be influencing your aging journey, remember that every positive choice you make is an investment in your future self. The decisions you make about what to eat, how to move, how to manage stress, how to connect with others, are all ways of caring for the remarkable biological system that is your body. Your cells, organs, and tissues are constantly responding to the signals you send them through your lifestyle choices. When you choose nourishing foods, engage in gentle movement, prioritize restorative sleep, cultivate meaningful relationships, you're telling your body that it's worth caring for and maintaining. In this daily practice of self-care and mindful living, we find one of the most beautiful aspects of aging: the opportunity to actively participate in our own well-being and to age with intention, wisdom, and grace. As we drift into the realm of scientific possibility and hope, let's explore one of the most fascinating frontiers in biology: quest to understand longevity and the potential for extending healthy human lifespan. While aging is inevitable, scientists have dedicated years to understanding how we might age more slowly, with grace and vitality. From genetic research to breakthroughs in anti-aging medicine, there's hope that we can extend the health span of our lives, allowing us to enjoy each day for as long as possible. The scientific study of longevity has revealed remarkable diversity in how different species age and how long they live. Some creatures, like the mayfly, complete their entire adult existence in a single day, while others, like the Greenland shark, may live for over 400 years. The bowhead whale can live for more than 2 centuries, and some trees have been alive for thousands of years. This extraordinary variation in lifespan across species suggests that aging is not a fixed, unchangeable process, but rather something that can be modified by evolution and potentially by human intervention. Perhaps nowhere is this diversity more striking than in the microscopic world. The tiny roundworm called Caenorhabditis elegans normally lives for about 2 to 3 weeks, but scientists have discovered genetic mutations that can extend its lifespan by several fold. Some of these long-lived worms remain active and healthy throughout their extended lives, suggesting that it's possible to slow aging without simply prolonging a period of decline and frailty. These discoveries in simple organisms have led researchers to identify key genetic pathways that regulate aging across many species, including humans. One of the most important of these is the insulin and insulin-like growth factor signaling pathway, which responds to nutrient availability and energy status. When this pathway is moderately reduced, either through genetic modifications or interventions like caloric restriction, many organisms live longer and healthier lives. Caloric restriction, the practice of reducing calorie intake while maintaining adequate nutrition, is one of the most robust interventions known to extend lifespan in laboratory animals. Mice, rats, and many other species live significantly longer when their caloric intake is reduced by 20 to 30% compared to animals that eat freely. These calorie-restricted animals not only live longer, but they also remain healthier throughout their extended lives, with lower rates of cancer, heart disease, and other age-related conditions. The mechanisms behind caloric restrictions, effects on longevity, are complex and still being unraveled. The practice appears to activate cellular stress response pathways that enhance the body's maintenance and repair systems. It stimulates autophagy, the cellular recycling process that clears damaged proteins and organelles. It also affects the activity of sirtuins, a family of proteins that regulate cellular health and stress resistance. While extreme caloric restriction isn't practical or advisable for most humans, researchers are investigating ways to capture its benefits through other means. Intermittent fasting, where eating is restricted to certain hours of the day or certain days of the week, may provide some of the same benefits as caloric restriction, while being more sustainable for human lifestyles. Time-restricted eating, periodic fasting, and other modified approaches to nutrition timing are being studied for their potential longevity benefits. The discovery of sirtuins has opened up exciting possibilities for longevity interventions. These proteins, sometimes called longevity genes, play crucial roles in cellular maintenance, DNA repair, and stress resistance. Certain compounds found in foods, such as resveratrol from red wine and grape skins, can activate sirtuins and potentially provide some of the same benefits as caloric restriction. However, the concentrations needed for significant effects are much higher than what can be obtained from food alone, leading researchers to investigate synthetic sirtuin activators. Another promising area of longevity research focuses on senescent cells, those aged cells that have stopped dividing but continue to secrete inflammatory substances. As we discussed earlier, these cells accumulate with age and may contribute to many age-related diseases. Scientists have developed compounds called senolytics that can selectively eliminate senescent cells, potentially rejuvenating tissues and extending healthy lifespan. Early studies with senolytic treatments in mice have shown remarkable results, with improvements in physical function, cognitive performance, and overall health span. Some of these treatments have even been able to reverse certain aspects of aging in laboratory animals. Human trials of senolytic drugs are now underway, though it will be years before we know whether these promising results translate to humans. The study of telomeres and telomeres has also generated significant interest as a potential avenue for longevity interventions. Since telomere shortening is associated with cellular aging, researchers have investigated whether maintaining or extending telomeres could slow the aging process. Some studies have shown that lifestyle interventions like meditation, exercise, and stress reduction can slow telomere shortening, while others have explored more direct approaches to telomere maintenance. However, telomeres activation carries risks, particularly the potential for increased cancer development. Cancer cells often reactivate telomeres to enable unlimited division. So any intervention that broadly activates this enzyme must be carefully designed to avoid promoting cancer growth. Researchers are working on targeted approaches that could provide the benefits of telomerase activation while minimizing cancer risk. The emerging field of regenerative medicine offers another approach to combating aging by replacing or rejuvenating damaged tissues. Stem cell therapies, tissue engineering, and organ regeneration technologies hold promise for repairing age-related damage and potentially extending healthy lifespan. While these approaches are still largely experimental, early results suggest that it may be possible to reverse some aspects of aging by replacing worn-out cellular components with fresh, young alternatives. Parabiosis experiments, where the circulatory systems of young and old animals are connected, have revealed that factors in young blood can have rejuvenating effects on older tissues. These studies have led to investigations of specific blood factors that may be responsible for these effects, and the development of therapies based on young blood or its components. While the idea of young blood as an anti-aging treatment captures the imagination, the reality is likely to be more complex, involving specific proteins and signaling molecules rather than whole blood transfusions. Advances in artificial intelligence and big data analysis are accelerating longevity research by allowing scientists to analyze vast amounts of biological data and identify patterns that might not be apparent through traditional research methods. Machine learning algorithms can analyze genetic data, biomarkers, lifestyle factors, and health outcomes to identify predictors of healthy aging and potential targets for intervention. The concept of biological age versus chronological age has become central to longevity research. While chronological age simply measures how much time has passed since birth, biological age attempts to measure how much aging has actually occurred in an individual's body. Various biomarkers, from telomere length to inflammatory markers to epigenetic changes, are being developed to assess biological age and track the effectiveness of anti-aging interventions. Some researchers believe that aging itself should be considered a disease that can be treated and potentially cured. This perspective, while controversial, has led to increased funding and attention for aging research and has encouraged the development of specific therapies, targeting the fundamental mechanisms of aging rather than just age-related diseases. The field of neuroscience, which studies the relationship between aging and age-related diseases, has revealed that targeting basic aging processes might be more effective than treating individual diseases separately. Since aging is the primary risk factor for most chronic diseases, interventions that slow aging could potentially prevent or delay multiple diseases simultaneously. Research into genetic factors that promote longevity has identified several genes associated with exceptional lifespan in humans. People who live to be 100 or more often carry specific genetic variants that appear to protect against age-related diseases or slow the aging process. Understanding how these protective genes work could lead to therapies that could provide similar benefits to people without these genetic advantages. The study of centenarians and supercentenarians, people who live to be 110 or more, has provided valuable insights into healthy aging. These exceptionally long-lived individuals often remain relatively healthy and functional well into their later years, suggesting that it's possible to compress the period of illness and disability at the end of life rather than simply extending lifespan. Environmental and lifestyle factors continue to be important areas of longevity research. The identification of blue zones, regions of the world where people routinely live to be 100 or more, has highlighted the importance of diet, physical activity, social connections, and stress management in promoting longevity. These real-world examples of exceptional longevity provide valuable clues about how to age successfully, The development of biomarkers for aging is crucial for testing potential longevity interventions. Since human lifespan is so long, researchers need ways to measure the effects of treatments without waiting decades to see results. Biomarkers that can accurately reflect biological age and predict future health outcomes are essential tools for advancing longevity research. Pharmaceutical companies are beginning to invest significantly in longevity research, recognizing the enormous potential market for effective anti-aging therapies. This increased commercial interest is accelerating research and development, though it also raises important questions about access and equity for longevity treatments. The ethical implications of significant life extension are complex and multifaceted. Questions about resource allocation, social inequality, environmental impact, and the meaning of a human lifespan are becoming increasingly relevant as longevity research advances. Society will need to grapple with these issues as anti-aging technologies become more powerful and accessible. Despite all these exciting developments, it's important to maintain realistic expectations about longevity research. While significant progress is being made, most potential longevity interventions are still experimental and unproven in humans. The translation from laboratory studies in animals to effective human therapies often takes many years and faces numerous obstacles. As you rest tonight, perhaps contemplating the remarkable possibility that science might one day allow us to age more slowly and live longer. Healthier lives. Remember that the most powerful longevity interventions currently available are the lifestyle choices we've discussed throughout our journey. Regular exercise, healthy nutrition, adequate sleep, stress management, strong social connections remain our best tools for promoting healthy aging and longevity. The science of longevity represents humanity's ancient dream of extending life and defeating aging. Now pursued with sophisticated tools and deep understanding of biological mechanisms, while we may not yet have found the fountain of youth, we've discovered many streams and springs that can help us age more gracefully and maintain our health and vitality for longer than previous generations thought possible. In this ongoing quest to understand and potentially extend human lifespan, we see reflected our deepest hopes and aspirations for a long, healthy, and meaningful existence. As we near the end of our gentle journey through the landscape of aging, let's pause to reflect on the deeper meanings and philosophical implications of this universal human experience. Aging is a journey, not a loss. It's the soft unfolding of life's chapters, each one adding depth and richness to who we are. As we age, we gain wisdom and perspective, gifts that time grants us gently, day by day, transforming us not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally as well. Throughout human history, different cultures have held vastly different perspectives on aging and what it means to grow older. Some societies have revered their elders as repositories of wisdom and experience, while others have focused primarily on youth and viewed aging as decline and loss. These cultural attitudes profoundly shape how individuals experience their own aging process and how they're treated by their communities as they grow older. In many Eastern philosophical traditions, aging is seen as a natural part of the cosmic order, no different from the changing of seasons or the phases of the moon. The Taoist concept of wu wei, or effortless action, suggests that the wisest approach to aging is to flow with the natural processes of change rather than fighting against them. This perspective encourages acceptance and adaptation, viewing the changes that come with age as opportunities for growth and deeper understanding rather than as problems to be solved. Buddhism offers another profound perspective on aging through its teaching of impermanence. The recognition that all things are constantly changing and that attachment to any particular state or condition leads to suffering. From this viewpoint, aging becomes a profound teacher. It's constantly reminding us of the transient nature of all existence and encouraging us to find peace and contentment in the present moment rather than clinging to past youth or fearing future decline. The ancient Greeks developed the concept of eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or well-being, which suggests that a good life is not measured simply by its length but by its depth, meaning in the cultivation of virtue and wisdom. This perspective frames aging not as a countdown toward death, but as an ongoing opportunity to develop character, contribute to society, and achieve a form of fulfillment that transcends physical capabilities. Western philosophy has grappled extensively with questions about the meaning and value of aging. The existentialist tradition, with its emphasis on creating meaning through choice and action, suggests that aging can be a time of profound authenticity, when the accumulated experiences of a lifetime provide the foundation for living with greater purpose and clarity about what truly matters. The Stoic philosophers of ancient Rome developed practices and perspectives that remain remarkably relevant to aging gracefully. Their emphasis on accepting what cannot be changed while focusing energy on what can be influenced provides a practical framework for navigating the challenges and opportunities of growing older. The Stoic concept of memento mori, remembering that death is inevitable, isn't meant to be morbid, but rather to encourage mindful living and appreciation of each day. Modern psychology has contributed valuable insights into the developmental aspects of aging, suggesting that psychological growth and development don't stop in youth, but continue throughout the entire lifespan. Erik Erikson's theory of psychosocial development identifies specific tasks and opportunities for growth in later life, including the development of wisdom and the achievement of what he called generativity. The desire to nurture and guide younger generations. The concept of successful aging has evolved significantly over recent decades. Early definitions focused primarily on avoiding disease and maintaining physical and cognitive function. But more recent perspectives emphasize adaptation, resilience, and the ability to find meaning and satisfaction despite age-related changes. This broader definition recognizes that aging successfully doesn't require remaining young, but rather involves developing the skills and perspectives needed to thrive at each stage of life. One of the most profound philosophical questions surrounding aging is what it means to live a complete or fulfilled life. Some traditions emphasize the accumulation of experiences. Others focus on the development of wisdom and character, and still others prioritize contribution to family and community. The diversity of these perspectives suggests that there may be many valid ways to approach aging, and many different definitions of what constitutes a life well lived. The relationship between aging and time takes on deep philosophical significance. When we consider how our perception of time changes as we grow older, young people often feel like they have unlimited time, while older adults may become acutely aware of time's finite nature. This awareness can be either paralyzing or liberating, depending on how it's interpreted and integrated into one's life philosophy. Some philosophers have suggested that this heightened awareness of mortality that often comes with aging can actually enhance the quality of life by encouraging greater presence, deeper appreciation of simple pleasures, and clearer prioritization of what truly matters. The knowledge that time is limited can make each moment more precious and can motivate people to live more intentionally and authentically. The concept of legacy becomes increasingly important to many people as they age, raising questions about what we leave behind and how we want to be remembered. This isn't just about material inheritance, but about the ways our lives have touched others. It's the wisdom we've shared, the love we've given, and the positive changes we've contributed to the world. The desire to create meaningful legacy can provide purpose and direction in later life. Aging also offers unique opportunities for what some philosophers call ego transcendence, the movement beyond narrow self-interest toward broader concerns and deeper spiritual awareness. Many older adults report feeling more connected to nature, more compassionate toward others, more interested in questions of meaning and purpose than in material success or personal achievement. The feminist philosopher Simone de Beauvoir wrote extensively about aging and gender, highlighting how societal attitudes toward aging affect men and women differently and calling attention to the ways that ageism intersects with other forms of discrimination. Her work reminds us that aging doesn't occur in a vacuum, but is always shaped by cultural contexts and social structures that can either support or undermine the aging process. Contemporary philosophers like William May and Harry Moody have explored the spiritual dimensions of aging, suggesting that growing older can be a time of profound spiritual development and deepening relationship with the sacred. This perspective frames aging not as decline, but as ripening, a process of becoming more fully oneself and more deeply connected to the larger mysteries of existence. The Japanese concept of ikigai, often translated as life purpose or reason for being, provides another valuable perspective on aging meaningfully. This philosophy suggests that well-being comes from the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be supported for doing. For many people, these elements become clearer and more aligned with age, as they develop deeper self-knowledge and greater clarity about their values and priorities. The technological advances we discussed in our previous chapter raise profound philosophical questions about what it means to age naturally, and whether we should pursue radical life extension if it becomes possible. Some argue that mortality is an essential part of the human condition, and that dramatically extending lifespan could have unintended consequences for meaning, motivation, and social structure. Others contend that reducing suffering and extending healthy life is a moral imperative that we should pursue regardless of philosophical concerns. These debates about life extension touch on fundamental questions about human nature, the meaning of a human lifespan, and what we owe to future generations. They also raise practical questions about resource allocation, environmental sustainability, and social justice in a world where longevity treatments might not be equally available to everyone. The environmental movement has contributed another perspective on aging by emphasizing the interconnectedness of all life and the importance of considering our impact on future generations. This ecological perspective suggests that aging gracefully involves not just personal well-being, but also responsible stewardship of the planet we'll leave behind. Many wisdom traditions emphasize the importance of aging with dignity, maintaining one's essential humanity and treating others with respect regardless of age-related changes. This involves both how we treat ourselves as we age and how we treat other older adults in our communities. The concept of dignity in aging recognizes that every person has inherent worth that doesn't diminish with age or changes in capability. The philosopher Emmanuel Levinas wrote about the face of the other as a call to ethical responsibility, and this concept has particular relevance to aging. When we encounter older adults, especially those who are frail or vulnerable, we're called to recognize their fundamental humanity and to respond with care and respect. This ethical dimension of aging reminds us that how we treat older adults reflects our values and character as individuals and as a society. The practice of intergenerational wisdom sharing has been recognized across cultures as one of the most valuable aspects of aging. Older adults serve as bridges between past and present, carrying forward knowledge, stories, and perspectives that might otherwise be lost. This role as cultural transmitter and wisdom keeper provides meaning and purpose while contributing to the continuity of human knowledge and values. The question of when to fight against aging-related changes and when to accept them gracefully is one that many people grapple with as they grow older. This balance between acceptance and agency, between adapting to limitations and working to overcome them, requires wisdom and discernment that often develops through experience and reflection. As we consider the philosophical dimensions of aging, we're reminded that growing older is not just a biological process, but a profound human experience that touches on the deepest questions of meaning, purpose, mortality, and what it means to live a good life. Different philosophical traditions offer different answers to these questions, but they all recognize aging as a significant and meaningful part of the human journey. As you settle into the peaceful transition towards sleep, perhaps reflecting on your own philosophical relationship with aging and time, remember that you are participating in one of the most universal human experiences, while also creating your own unique interpretation of what it means to grow older. Your aging process is both deeply personal and profoundly connected to the larger human story. Part of the continuing conversation about how to live wisely and well throughout all the stages of life, the philosophical exploration of aging ultimately returns us to questions of gratitude, acceptance, growth, and the search for meaning that have occupied human beings throughout history. In embracing these questions rather than avoiding them, we find opportunities for the kind of deep reflection and wisdom that can make the aging process not just bearable, but genuinely enriching and transformative. As our gentle journey through the science and philosophy of aging draws to a close, let's take a moment to rest in the profound beauty of everything we've discovered together tonight. We've traveled from the microscopic world of cells and molecules to the vast landscape of human experience, exploring how time touches every aspect of our existence with its gentle, transforming hand. As you rest tonight, reflect on the journey of time, how it shapes you, how it molds the world around you. Aging, like the gentle turning of a page, is a part of life's rhythm, guiding us softly into each new day. In understanding this process, we find not reasons for fear or despair, but rather cause for wonder, gratitude, and a deeper appreciation of the remarkable gift that is human life. Think back to where we began, contemplating time itself as that mysterious force that governs every moment of our existence. We discovered that aging isn't simply the passive accumulation of years, but an active, dynamic process where our bodies and minds continuously adapt to the passage of time. Every cell in your body participates in this grand symphony of existence, each one keeping perfect time with the cosmic rhythms that have sustained life on Earth for billions of years. We explored the cellular foundations of aging, learning how those 37 trillion cells that make up your body gradually change their function and efficiency over time. Yet we also discovered that these changes aren't simply about decline, but about adaptation, resilience, and the remarkable ability of living systems to maintain function and even find new ways to thrive despite the challenges that time presents. Our journey into the world of DNA and telomeres revealed the elegant molecular mechanisms that both drive aging and protect us from its most harmful effects. We learned that those protective caps on our chromosomes serve as tiny hourglasses, marking cellular time while safeguarding the precious genetic information that makes us who we are. The story of telomeres taught us that aging involves sophisticated biological trade-offs, balancing longevity against cancer protection in ways that reflect the deep wisdom of evolutionary processes. The exploration of free radicals and oxidative stress illuminated the constant molecular drama unfolding within our cells. Reactive molecules and antioxidant defenses engage in an ongoing dance that shapes the aging process. We discovered that this isn't a simple battle between good and bad molecules, but a complex biological conversation where even potentially harmful substances play important roles in cellular communication and adaptation. When we turned our attention to the visible signs of aging in our skin, we found a different kind of beauty. The way that collagen and elastin changes create the lines and textures that tell the story of a life fully lived. Every wrinkle became a testament to countless smiles, every age spot a marker of time spent under the sun. Every change in texture, a record of experiences accumulated and wisdom gained. Our exploration of how aging affects organs and tissues revealed the remarkable interconnectedness of biological systems and their ability to support and compensate for each other as changes occur. We learned that the heart, lungs, muscles, and other organs don't age in isolation, but as part of an integrated whole that continues to demonstrate extraordinary resilience and adaptability throughout life. The journey into brain aging perhaps offered the most encouraging discoveries of all, revealing that our minds retain remarkable capacity for growth, adaptation, and even improvement in certain areas as we age. We learned about neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and form new connections throughout life, and discovered that many aspects of cognitive function, particularly wisdom and emotional regulation, often improve with age. Our investigation of lifestyle and environmental influences on aging provided perhaps the most empowering insights, showing us that we have genuine agency in how we age. The choices we make about nutrition, exercise, sleep, stress management, and social connections all influence the aging process in profound ways, offering us the opportunity to age with intention and wisdom. The science of longevity opened our eyes to the exciting possibilities on the horizon, from senolytic drugs that can eliminate aged cells to regenerative therapies that might repair damaged tissues. While these technologies are still experimental, they remind us that aging research is advancing rapidly and that the future may hold new tools for promoting healthy aging and extending human lifespan. Finally, our philosophical reflections on aging helped us understand that growing older isn't just a biological process, but a profound human experience that touches on the deepest questions of meaning, purpose, and what it means to live a good life. We explored how different cultures and wisdom traditions have understood aging, finding common themes of growth, wisdom, and the importance of finding meaning in every stage of life. Throughout this entire journey, one theme has emerged again and again: that aging is not our enemy but our teacher, not a process of simple decline, but one of continuous transformation and adaptation. The changes that come with aging often bring gifts that are unavailable to younger people: perspective, wisdom, emotional resilience, and a deeper appreciation for the preciousness of each moment. The The scientific understanding of aging has advanced dramatically in recent decades. Yet it has also revealed the profound elegance and complexity of the processes that govern how we change over time. Far from being a random breakdown of biological systems, aging appears to be a carefully orchestrated process that balances multiple competing demands while maintaining the essential functions needed for life. Perhaps most importantly, our exploration has revealed that there is no single correct way to age. Just as there are countless ways to live a meaningful life, there are countless ways to age with grace, dignity, and purpose. Some people find meaning in staying physically active, others in intellectual pursuits, still others in spiritual exploration or service to others. The key is finding approaches to aging that align with your values, capabilities, and circumstances. The research we've discussed tonight also reminds us that aging doesn't happen in a vacuum, but is profoundly influenced by the social, cultural, and environmental contexts in which we live. The support of family and friends, access to healthcare and resources, and the attitudes of our communities all play crucial roles in determining how we experience the aging process. As scientific understanding of aging continues to advance, we may have increasing opportunities to influence how we age and how long we live. However, it's important to remember that the goal isn't necessarily to prevent aging entirely, but to age in ways that allow us to maintain health, function, independence, and quality of life for as long as possible. The future of aging research holds tremendous promise, but the most powerful tools for healthy aging remain the simple practices we've discussed throughout our journey. Regular physical activity, nutritious eating, adequate sleep, stress management, meaningful social connections, and continued learning and growth. These fundamental lifestyle practices have been shown again and again to promote healthy aging and longevity. As you prepare to drift into sleep, let yourself feel grateful for the remarkable biological systems that have carried you through life and continue to work tirelessly on your behalf. Your heart beats faithfully, your lungs breathe steadily. Your brain processes and dreams, and countless cellular processes continue their essential work even as you rest. Remember that you are part of an unbroken chain of life that stretches back billions of years, connecting you to every living thing that has ever existed. The aging process you're experiencing is the same fundamental process that has allowed life to persist and evolve throughout Earth's history. Adapting and changing while maintaining the essential spark of existence, your own aging journey is unique and precious, a one-time experience that will never be repeated in exactly the same way. Whether you're young and just beginning to think about aging, middle-aged and noticing the first subtle changes, or older and well-acquainted with the aging process, you are writing your own chapter in the great human story of growing older with wisdom and grace. As sleep approaches, carrying you gently into the restorative processes that will help your body and mind prepare for another day of living and growing. Take comfort in knowing that aging is not a problem to be solved, but a journey to be embraced. Each day offers new opportunities for growth, connection, learning, and joy, regardless of your age or stage of life. The gentle rhythm of aging continues its ancient dance, marking time in your cells, adding wisdom to your mind, and deepening your appreciation for the extraordinary gift of conscious existence. In this ongoing process of becoming, we find one of the most beautiful aspects of being human: the opportunity to grow and change throughout our entire lives, to always becoming more fully ourselves, while remaining connected to the larger mystery of life itself. Rest well, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be in your own aging journey, and that each day offers new possibilities for growth, discovery, and the gentle unfolding of your unique contribution to the ongoing story of human existence.